Why your belly fat won't go away, even if you eat less. You've been eating less. Maybe you've even been quite disciplined about it. But the belly fat is still there, sitting exactly where it was 6 months ago, completely unbothered by everything you've done. And at some point you start wondering, is it my age? My metabolism? Am I just broken? Here's what nobody told you. You don't have a calorie problem. You have an insulin problem. And once you understand what that actually means, everything that hasn't been working suddenly starts to make sense. The problem is, most people were taught the same simple equation. Eat less, move more, lose fat. And on paper it sounds logical. But that model has a massive hole in it, and that hole is insulin. Here's how it actually works. When you eat, your blood sugar rises, and your body releases insulin to move that sugar into your cells for energy. That's the normal, healthy process. But when insulin stays elevated too often, because you're eating frequently, snacking constantly, or loading up on refined carbohydrates, your cells start to ignore the signal. They've heard it too many times. So your body releases even more insulin to compensate. And here is the part that explains everything. High insulin blocks fat burning. Not slows it down, blocks it. When insulin is elevated, your body cannot access the fat stored around your waist. It doesn't matter how little you ate today. If insulin is high, that fat is locked away. And this is far more common than most people realize. A large meta-analysis published in 2025 estimates that roughly 1 in 4 adults worldwide already has insulin resistance. And some studies suggest it could be closer to 40 to 46% in adults who otherwise appear completely healthy. So if you've been doing everything right and still not seeing results, you are not imagining it, and you are definitely not alone. Now here's what's actually driving it day to day. It's not one big meal, it is the pattern. Constant snacking, sugary drinks, ultra-processed foods, heavy carb-loaded meals, these create repeated insulin spikes throughout the entire day. Your body never gets a break. Insulin never fully drops, and fat never gets released. What surprises most people is how fast this can happen. One study found that just a single day of heavy overeating reduced insulin sensitivity by around 28% in otherwise healthy adults. Not months of bad habits. One day. So your metabolism is responding to these patterns much faster than you think, in both directions. Which means the fix can also start working faster than you expect. There's one more habit making this worse, and almost everyone does it without thinking. After eating, we sit down. We go back to the desk, the couch, the car. But your muscles are the largest glucose sink in your body. When they contract, they pull sugar directly out of your bloodstream. When you sit after a meal, insulin has to do all of that work alone. A randomized trial found that a simple 10-minute walk immediately after eating significantly reduced blood sugar spikes. And that short post-meal walk actually worked better than a 30-minute walk done later in the day. Timing mattered more than duration. So it's not just what you eat, it's what you do in the hour after. The goal here is not another complicated diet. It's 3 simple rules that reduce how often insulin spikes throughout your day. Do these consistently, and your body finally gets the signal it needs to start releasing that stored fat. Rule 1. Stop grazing. Instead of eating across the whole day, aim for 2 or 3 proper meals inside a 10 to 12-hour window. That's it. The point is simple. Every time you eat something, insulin goes up. Every snack, every handful of crackers, every "it's just a small bite" moment. All of it keeps insulin elevated. Give your body gaps between meals, and insulin finally gets a chance to drop. And when insulin drops, fat burning turns back on. If you genuinely need something between meals, make it protein-based, not sugary, not processed, nothing that triggers another spike. Rule 2. Calm the carb bombs. You don't need to eliminate carbohydrates. But the refined ones, white bread, sugary drinks, pastries, anything that hits your bloodstream fast, create sharp, aggressive insulin spikes that your body then has to work hard to manage. The fix is not elimination, it's pairing. Eat your carbs alongside protein, healthy fats, and fiber. That combination slows digestion down and produces a much smaller, much more manageable insulin response. And remember what the research showed. Even one day of heavy overeating can significantly dent your insulin sensitivity. So the cheat day mentality is costing you more than you think. Rule 3. Walk for 10 minutes right after you eat. Not a gym session, not a run, just a short walk after your biggest meal of the day. When your muscles start moving, they pull glucose directly out of your bloodstream without needing insulin to do it. You're essentially giving insulin a hand instead of leaving it to fight alone. 10 minutes, right after eating. That's all it takes to meaningfully reduce the spike. So if your belly fat has been ignoring everything you've thrown at it, start here, not with less food. With these 3 things, stop grazing, limit carb intake, and walk 10 minutes after you eat. These changes lower insulin levels throughout the day, and once insulin comes down, your body finally has permission to go after that stored fat. If this was useful, subscribe. Every week we break down exactly this kind of thing, science-backed and straight to the point. No fluff, no gimmicks, just what actually works for people over 40 who are done guessing.